add this in, but we didn't finish our end of the year EOI testing. Already diagnostic that helps us show growth until Friday. So I think y'all just look at the top is what I really want you to kind of focus on. Well, you can look at all of it. The top shows the school wide. Uh, and school wide ELA, which is language arts, we showed 118% growth. So 100% would be the school wide ELA met was meeting growth. So we've exceeded that growth mark in English.
Right. Yes.
In the middle school. So I know we put a lot of work in, especially in English. We adopted a new curriculum this year. It's been a learning curve for teachers and parents. Well, students are not necessarily achieving the A, B stats like they used to be, but they're growing in grade level, if you will. Math is at 77, so we're not quite where we want to be there, but when you dive deeper, you can look at the more broke down then as you go. We have one eighth grade student was over 1,000% growth. We went from second grade to early eighth this year. So we're really seeing a lot of growth. Now, are we going to get a lot of kids that are on second, third grade to grade level? Most likely not. But we are, and this report kind of shows that this year so far, the growth metric is where we want to be to accept, may not be up where we won't be proficiency yet at grade level, but we are getting to the growth. So that's in the brain on middle school.
Good, appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Naylor. Now, with this addition, do I have a motion to, no, I don't have to have a motion. Mr. Madison, staff recognition.
Yes. So we have several staff members that are going to be retiring or have already retired. We just wanted to give them the opportunity to come up to the board and recognize them for their years in service. And we've got 3 of them that are here with us this morning. And the first one's Miss Cheryl Morgan. Got a certificate for them. Thank you. And next we got Miss Ramona Souza. And Mr. Kevin White. And another retirees, I'll just mention them, was also Coach Walsh. We had him retire a few months ago. Billy Knight's going to be retiring from math in the high school. Laura Cox was a school psychologist, also was retired already. Jeff Knight will be retiring as SRO July 1. And Billy Buchanan retired last week. It was his last official day at the school electrician. So appreciate everyone's years of service and time that you're directing. And more importantly, the difference they made in the students' lives.
Thank
And they may have something they want to say. You want to go to jail.
Ms. Sophie, I'm sure you got.
I actually would want to say I just thank everybody here. It has been an amazing time, and I absolutely love this staff. Could not find any better staff anywhere in the world. So
I knew you should have something to say.
And I will say also, it's been an absolute pleasure trying to serve this community. One of those things where it gets pretty emotional when you start thinking about it. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, I guess I'll spend about 10 years in Cherokee County and then the last basically 20 here in Grant County. It's been all this community accepted me and been very good at it. And so it's just been an honor to serve the community, serve the kids.
You've been good to us. All of y'all. Appreciate you. Okay, Ms. Wiggins, school-based health center negotiations.
Good morning. So in your package, you were able to see for my update that we are in negotiations with Appalachian Mountain Community Health Center to see if they will implement a school-based health center into our upstream schools. We're in the negotiation piece of that. What I wanted to bring to your attention today is a contract that they have shared, or the CEO has shared with me to give to you. And this is just a template. This is a contract that they have used with other school-based health centers. I believe they've tried to go through and to save the integrity of the document and probably try to block out some identifying information. But it's a sample for you and our school attorney to look at to determine if you are interested in pursuing this. If given the green light, if you believe that this is something that we should continue to pursue, I will continue to have monthly negotiations with them. The hope would be is that when school begins in August, that we can potentially have a fully functioning school-based health center. In the notes that I shared with you previously, they indicated that the provision would be to have a medical clinician, medical support staff member, mental health, behavioral liaison, therapist, community resource advocate, and some dental services. So in my opinion, this is a win-win for our community. We've had some school-based health presence before in the past. For whatever reason, things have fizzled out, but this might be a new start for Graham County Schools. So at your free time, take that look at that contract. Perhaps work with Mr. Henning to see if that's something that we want to continue to pursue.
And Mr. Chairman, board members, I can tell you right off the bat, when I first heard of this, I thought this likely was one that we had worked with before. And if you look down to the bottom left margin of all the pages that have that CS in them, the CS is Campbell Shapley. So this is one we worked on and agreed to, and so in all likelihood, we won't need a whole lot of work to get to a place that, at least from a legal standpoint, we're comfortable with it. And I seem to recall knowing that this had been implemented at Ashland City Schools, that they were very happy with it. It's been a great advantage to the community to have those kind of services right in the school. It's no better, obviously, for health reasons, but it's better for school in a lot of ways, because like things that can get attended to real fast in case turnaround and get back to school has been a great advantage. So this will probably be very good for grandparents.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Henry. Does this also include the athletic trainer?
No, that
Yes, that's something else, okay.
We can discuss that in closed session, we've got some things on that.
Okay, good.
and Mr. Dustin, that's not making any action right now that we need to take. Right now, I'm just presenting it to you. I'm trying to keep you in the loop of what the share with me.
Okay.
And as things develop, I will continue to bring it back to the board to update you.
How soon do we need to agree on this?
I would probably not even move in any type of agreement for at least another month. Give it time for them to determine. Right now, some of the things that they share with us is that they have written a grant to try to obtain a mobile unit, and they will know sometime this particular month if they are awarded that. That's something that they would have to pitch to the school system, perhaps ensure your elementary school is, built and constructed. Can we serve your students and faculty in a mobile unit? Can we eventually work our way into the brick and mortar of the schools? There's lots of moving parts right now.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, local budget and COAP approval, Ms. Gibbs. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, in your packet, there's a copy of next year's capital outlay and local budget. Those have to be board approved and to the county for their approval before May 15th. The capital outlay budget is, really just a wish list of needs. We did meet back in March and, updated that list. Anything on there, we do sales tax or non-refund, for those projects. Then also the local current expense budget, that is the county appropriation, and it did not change from last year. So the budget is really mirrors previous years. Nothing really has changed there, so we just need approval on those so they can go to the county.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbs. like I said too, this gives, we did ask, we always in the capital outlay designates. Pretty much it's this year, and we get sales tax that they will help us with that. Also, we asked for 7.5%
Yeah.
increase in our budget from last year, and we've asked it for the last 10 years, and that will climb too. Yes. There, so this budget, like I said, it's the same for last year. Yeah.
And we're losing some, like the timber receipts and all that.
Yes, right as of right now, and I've got more detail unfortunately. Conservation is person. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the Graham County Schools capital outlay projects, the local current expense, budget year, and I guess that's it. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Federal programs report, Ms. Williams.
I handed out each one of you, the federal program. It looks like I'll briefly go over that. We'll start with PRC 49, which is a preschool grant for exceptional children. And with that grant, I have to go on, this year's a lot, of course, we did not have next year's a lot yet, but I'm trying to show you where we are, and I got, at this time, according to anything I can learn from DCDPI, I don't see a lot of change coming up in the next year, I think we're going to hold our own. This grant funds 30% of one teacher assistant at his place. That particular preschool is where we put our most needy exceptional children, so because we are additional personnel paid for these times. PRC 60 is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, that grant for 2024-25, our allotment of the carryover was $289,335. The use of these funds basically pays for 3 full-time exceptional children's teachers, 40% of one easy teacher, 2 full-time teacher assistant positions, and some supplies and materials. Moving forward with Title 20, which is PRC 50. This grant we get based on our Pretty Red Goose lunch rate, or poverty basically, which is last year was 60%. With this particular grant, there's a big component for parental involvement. So we do a lot of parental involvement activities. You'll see us walk and read, moving up physical night, those type of activities, which is a part of this grant. This grant employs 7 full-time teacher assistants at Robbinsville Elementary, 15% of behavior liaison, which at this moment right now, with exceptional children, pays the majority of that behavior liaison salary. Where it stands still right now, we'll know about September what that number will look like. So in addition, this grant pays for 50% of the director's salary, 25% of the administrative assistant salary, supports research-based programs at the elementary schools such as foundations, integrity, just words, and roles, and also assists in paying universal screeners at Robbinsville Elementary. And there's a good amount in that grant every year for homeless for our district. Required component of Title I. PRC 103 is Title II. I talked with the federal representatives, and they don't see any changes that really come forward in that, at least for the next school year. For 24-25, allotment of the carryover was $60,562, and basically all we were able to get for that is that we paid for 90% of a first grade teacher this year. Moving on to rural low income schools, we qualified this year. We qualified for $39,451 was our allotment, and we continue to help assist pay for one of our school nurses at Robbinsville Elementary. PRC 108 is Title IV. Federal allotment for this year was with the carryover was $47,258. These grant monies are used district-wide. Each school is a part of this money. And the funds are for to support safe and healthy students and to support the need for a well-rounded education for students. And
That's a full grant thing, using for that money, based on that grant. Any questions?
I just have one. How many homeless kids are we serving? Do you have?
She's so homeless now, plus he's alternative, so she has her county.
So typically we run about 14 to 16 for students per year that we identify as homeless.
I asked that question just for public knowledge. Because a
So
lot
we
of,
do a lot of things for our homeless. We offer like, assistance with tests at the high school, things like that, for like ACP, they can do anything like that, any school supplies. We, have the food, facilities at each school to help with that. Basically, I think we do a really good job here in Grant County of supporting their needs and cost for.
we don't explain to the criteria for homeless is just so that others more.
Yes. So it would be considered the definition of homelessness, it falls under the McKinney-Vento Act. And what that specifies is students who have a lack of a fixed nighttime residence, students who are living in the up, students who are living in inadequate housing. I can give you an example. Say perhaps there's no running water, or it's in some kind of mobile unit where it's, not a good sound structure. If it's where a student perhaps had to move into an emergency home for maybe there was difficulty between parents and that student had to leave that environment, move in, and maybe they're sleeping on the couch with someone else, that can be considered homelessness. So that definition is kind of get this problem.
Yeah.
But at the same token, I believe what Christy has said is that our community, we rally around young people, and oftentimes our social workers or counselors know when those things have kind of deteriorated within the family, and they're automatically seeking those types of resources to assist that young person. I can provide that if you would at the next board meeting, a good definition.
Okay.
That particular report that was due from me to the state by June 15th, and it tracks every one of our students who are identified as homeless.
I asked them that also, the resources, do we have enough resources for those kids, or is it stretched?
That is a great question. And I think that what we try to do is look at it case by case. We don't know what we may inherit. Now, a lot of your schools were heavily impacted by the hurricane. Those students then became identified as homeless. We've never had anything to that magnitude in Graham County. But we might have a student who comes in and their situation is dire. What we have had is some very supportive churches that have really stepped in and provided. We also have some of Christie's set aside money that is available for us to try to do some immediate things like that the student considered they are needing some school materials. That is set aside in our budget, and we were able to negotiate that money.
We've got the social workers too, that's like this on the ground, and they track who the other sports trying to do, what their needs are, want to find resources, things like that. And they need that last status.
So on last week, I was in the homeless liaisons meeting in Morganton. When I give you the number that there's about 14 to 16 people in our community that are identified each year as being homeless, I want you to think about the number that sits over in like Gaston County. I think about 900 people right now that's on their list as our students.
Goodness.
And I'm able to take my position and still do everything somewhere other than that is a full-time position. For one individual to take care of all of that office. I think Cleveland County has nearly 300 of them in here. So Berkeley has probably less than 200. So we're very fortunate. Our community, that's just what we do. We rally around children. Okay.
Thank you for that information, Ms. Williams. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Pardon?
We don't need to.
I have to present it.
That's good.
Okay, Mr. Henning, board policies.
Mr. Chairman, I was growing up as a radio announcer at WFSC in Franklin, who trying to find funny ways to say things. One of them was whenever they did the obituary, when there wasn't any, say, I regret to inform you, we have no deaths to report. So when I tell you I have no policies for your read this time, I feel a little bit like that. I don't have any for you this time. We got some coming. I'll give you some nice long summer reading to do. So we'll look at like a June and July adoption for policy. I don't have any good position today.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
That would be for reasons set forth in GS 143-3-18.1181. To confer with the right personnel matters for confidential to GS 143-319-3-1 and 143-318.1185 discuss terms of acquisition of real property.
Do I have a motion to accept? So moved. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? We are now in closed session. Mr. Moody?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. If you have a motion, back it up.
Yes, I did.
I'm just too late to this.
I think,
I made the motion.
and Chip made that second, and I voted, nobody opposed.
All right. Thanks.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, action items, Mr. Moody, approval of consent agenda.
Yes, it's sitting in personnel and field trips that need to be approved by y'all, and if you're okay with them, just approve it, and I'll let everybody know who they are.
Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda that we studied during the closed session? So moved. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed?
Then, is there anything else? Now, the next board meeting will be June 3rd, and the closing one, I think we decided we're going to be the 26th. Or do we do that? You're ready? Y'all good with the 26th? Okay.
Right.
I'm good with that. Okay, so we'll remember that on the next one, on the list.
So the next board meeting is June 3rd, and then we'll have one to approve the budget.
Yeah, whatever.
On June 26th.
And we'll skip the July.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?